The third reaction which we are going to see is a very simple one, and we have already done this before also, addition of Grignard reagents. So what reagents have we discussed? Once again, we have discussed HCN, that is hydrogen cyanide. We have discussed the second reagent, that is NaHSO3. And now we are going to discuss the third reagent which we are going to add, that is Grignard reagent, R minus MgX. We all are aware of the formula, alkyl magnesium halide, where X can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Generally fluorine is not there because it's highly reactive. So in exam we are going to take Cl or Br, mostly, okay. And now the attack takes place, as I told you, perpendicular. So you can show it this way, or you can show from the top also. The delocalization of electrons take place. This step is going to be the rate determining step. And what do you get? Look at this. Same as usual, we are going to get O minus, and the R gets attached over here. So we show it like that. Mg plus, of course, Mg plus is going to be next to the O minus. So Mg plus, we will write it like that. This is my adduct, which is the intermediate, I can say. Okay, I can say it's an intermediate. Now what are we going to do in the next step? As we generally do is, we are going to hydrolyze it with water and a little bit of acid. This is called acidic hydrolysis. Whenever we do hydrolysis in this manner, I've told you that H will be given to the O and the OH minus will be given to the Mg plus. So this is the way we are going to break the bonds, and we're going to get the new products. How do they look like? Look at this. So COH and R over there plus MgOHX. So what did you get? Look at this. You get an alcohol. From an aldehyde you get an alcohol. If you started with the ketone, then also you get an alcohol. So the answer over here is Grignard reagents plus carbonyl compounds are going to give us alcohols, which can be primary, which can be secondary, which can be tertiary. What kind of alcohols are you going to get? Let's have a look at it. If I start with formaldehyde, children, look at this. So if I start with formaldehyde, I'm just going to write HH over there. And what kind of alcohol is this? RCH2OH. It's a primary alcohol. So the rule is formaldehyde, when it reacts with Grignard reagent, it is going to yield a primary alcohol. Okay, very simple. If you start with any other aldehyde, naturally, see, look at this, what have I done? So when I start with any other aldehyde, I get a different alcohols where the carbon is attached to two different carbon atoms. This kind of alcohol is going to be secondary alcohol. So the second point of generalization can be written as other aldehydes, when they react with Grignard reagent, they give you secondary alcohols. And naturally, again, it's a common sense, if you start with a tertiary a ketone, you're going to get a tertiary alcohol. So it's very simple. So let's write down ketones plus any ketone plus Grignard reagent gives you tertiary alcohol. So it's so simple. I'm sure you've understood this. Alright, the fourth reagent which we're going to see is addition of alcohols. Okay, take an aldehyde or a ketone and react it with an alcohol. An alcohol is going to be a Lewis base. It has got oxygen with a lone pair of electrons. That means it is a electron rich species. It can act as a nucleophile for you. It attacks. Why? Because this is positive. The delocalization of electrons take place, and we are going to get an intermediate again. So we are going to get CO minus and this OR, and naturally when the oxygen has donated the electrons, this hydrogen also has to go out as a proton. This is the step. So you don't have to show all these steps in the exam. I'll just show you once, but I'll show you. Look at this. So actually speaking, we are going to get a structure like this first. The oxygen bearing a positive charge is very unstable. So the hydrogen goes out without its electrons, and then finally we get this structure where oxygen gets back its lone pair of electrons, and we get this particular structure. And naturally, what are we going to get after this? The hydrogen was there. The hydrogen which was lost from here, it will be going over here. So O minus goes and resides next to the O, this thing. So what step do we show? In exam, we directly show like this, COHOR. So we get an alkoxy group attached. We get an alkoxy group attached. We get an hydroxy group attached over there. So this kind of compound in which an alkoxy and a hydroxy group is attached on the carbon atom will be called as a hemiacetal. It's called a hemiacetal. So when an aldehyde or a ketone reacts with 1 mole of alcohol, the product formed is called as hemiacetal. Now this reaction should be accelerated. To increase the rate of this reaction, they'll be using dry hydrochloric acid gas. The purpose of dry hydrochloric acid gas is to speed up the reactions by increasing the positive charge on this carbon atom, because as you can see, oxygen has got two lone pairs over here. So the proton from here can come and get attached out here. The moment it happens, the oxygen starts developing a positive sign and therefore pulls the electrons more strongly towards itself, thus making this carbon more and more electrophilic or positive. So this can be a 1 mark question for us in the exam. What is the purpose of dry hydrochloric acid? So it is to increase the positive charge on the carbonyl carbon and to increase the rate of reaction. Okay, to increase the electrophilicity of carbonyl carbon and increase the rate of reaction. And this reaction is going to be a reversible reaction. If you add water, it goes back to the backward direction. So this is clear, I hope so, that what is hemiacetal? The compound formed when an aldehyde or a ketone reacts with 1 mole of alcohol. I am going to now add the second molecule of alcohol like this. Look at this. I am going to add second molecule of alcohol to the hemiacetal. The same way, you're going to show the attack taking place on the carbon, because carbon is attached to oxygen and oxygen. So the moment attack takes place, the best leaving group we can see here is, we cannot really remove OR minus, okay? The best is OH minus going out. When this happens, the OH minus comes out from there, and from alcohol, what is coming out? From alcohols, H plus is coming out. So what is the byproduct eventually? Water is the byproduct, we will see here, okay? So the answer finally I can write it as COR and another OR I have attached over here. So look at this, I have got the final answer, which is called as acetal. This was half acetal, this was hemiacetal, where there was only one alkoxy group attached. Now I got two alkoxy groups attached. So a gem dialkoxy, it's called as a gem because on the same carbon atom you have attached the two alkoxy groups, so it's called as gem dialkoxy alkane. So what kind of questions can be asked? You can understand 1 mark questions can be asked over here definitely. Why kind of question, why dry HCl is used, why water should not be there in even traces. So if you have little bit of water, then the reaction will start proceeding in the backward direction. The acetal will get hydrolyzed to hemiacetal, and the hemiacetal will finally go back to the carbonyl compound. So this was the reaction which can happen with aldehydes or even with ketones. You can write here ketone also, and the same answer you're going to write down. With ketals, we can use the word ketal over there, Ketal. Let me show you one important reaction which is there in the textbook, and we must understand that. In textbook now you will see that they have given you ketone. Suppose I take CH3, C double bond of CH3, and I react it with ethylene glycol. What is ethylene glycol? You know, it's ethane 1,2-diol. So naturally it's a molecule of alcohol which has 2 OH on the same carbon atom. So here we don't have to use 2 moles of alcohol because first molecule itself contains 2 OH. So there is no need of using 2 molecules. This molecule is sufficient enough to cause both the steps. In the first step, as I told you, the same kind of attack you will be showing. The H from here you have to shift over there, okay? When the attack takes place, then the H plus has to go out. Where will the H plus go? It will go here. So what will be my answer? Same way, you know, you have to use dry HCl gas. Don't forget to write all these steps. It's a reversible reaction, okay? So we'll be getting CH3, C, CH3, O. What should I do? I should not write O minus. I should write OH, and then I'll be writing O, CH2, CH2, OH. So I'll be writing O, CH2, CH2, OH. This is the first step. Now in the second step, intramolecular nucleophilic reaction takes place where this second OH now is ready to attack. The second OH is ready to attack. The moment it attacks, remember when the oxygen attacks, its neighboring hydrogen has to be knocked out. Whenever somebody attacks, its neighboring hydrogen has to be knocked out. So when oxygen attacks here, the OH minus goes from there and the H plus goes out from there. So water is definitely going to come out in this case as the byproduct, and the answer which we will be getting is CH3C, CH3. And look at this, this is getting connected over here, okay? So we'll be getting a ring now because this complete thing is getting closed. So how many atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 atoms will be there. So just show them in a beautiful way, okay? So this way I'm going to show in the exam. This is the way I'm going to show in the exam. So this is my compound which is made from the alcohol ethylene glycol. and it's a ketal because it's made from ketone. So ethylene glycol ketal is the cyclic product or the cyclic ether. It's an ether because you can see it's having ROR kind of linkage. So it's a cyclic ether formed when a ketone reacts with ethylene glycol. So children, remember, it's a reversible reaction. And second thing is that they can ask you what compound has given you this ketal. So if they ask you which compound has formed this ketal, so it's simple that I'm going to break the bond like this, and when I do so, I get CH3 CH3, and naturally there were two bonds. So I'll be writing two bonds and oxygen. So this was my ketone which has formed this compound. So I can go on changing this, in exam and ask you similar questions. Which ketone has produced this ketal? So simple, you're going to just change that and have this compound, that is your acetophenone. So children, such questions are also there in the exam. Now I'm going to start with the fifth nucleophilic addition reaction, which is the longest of all.